Ryu's arrival in the Hestia Familia triggers an unexpected whirlwind within the group. His timid attempt to adopt the leader's surname causes immediate unease, exposing the unstable atmosphere that accompanies this new phase. Although his intentions were formal and respectful, the situation highlights how the Familia, still small and disorganized in many aspects, is not fully prepared for such sudden changes. At the same time, Bell analyzes the faction's internal state and recognizes that, despite having grown in reputation, they remain mired in debt and the consequences of previous conflicts, including accumulated losses after the wargame. The administrative reality is bitter: higher taxes, tight resources, and the urgent need to reorganize priorities. Even so, the group's motivation remains strong, especially now, reinforced by new allies. It is in this scenario that the most profound transformation is revealed. The old and powerful Freya Familia, officially dissolved, was absorbed by the Hestia Familia by political decision of the guild. For the city, this functions as a strategic solution. Hestia would serve as an anchor capable of containing the dangers that the presence of the goddess of beauty has always brought. The merger is symbolic, but powerful. Even without being able to collaborate directly or obey each other, the two factions now coexist under the same banner. In this way, the Hestia Familia is elevated to the internal level of an S-rank faction, even though publicly it remains classified as B-rank. This reorganization completely changes the balance of the city. Powerful figures from the former Freya Familia, including legendary warriors, now act indirectly around the House of Fire. Security becomes absolute, transforming Hestia's home into one of the most protected places in Orario. Attacks and threats previously directed at Ryu or Harrowheim are silently resolved by these new hidden guardians, who follow discreet and rigorous instructions. For Bell and his team, this protection is not just an advantage, it is also a reminder of the political weight they now carry. Although grateful, the Hestia Familia understands that all of this is part of a delicate reckoning involving Seer, or rather, the goddess behind her. Still, the result is clear. Thanks to this invisible network of support, Ryu and Harrowheim can finally live in peace, and the Hestia Familia moves on to a new, stronger, and safer stage. With the recent restructuring of the city's forces, the Hestia Familia situation became much more complex than it appeared. Even with its reduced size and limited resources, the presence of Seer, now a subordinate goddess, completely altered how the guild viewed the faction. The old Freya Familia, officially dissolved, continued to exist in the shadows, and its influence naturally and silently fell upon the House of Hestia. With this, the guild began to treat them as a much more powerful faction than public records indicated. Although listed as Level B, internally the Hestia Familia was classified among the city's elite forces. It was a political solution to keep Freya's power in check and secure, ensuring that her former followers remained under indirect supervision, but still active in protecting the city, and now, also the small home of the Virgin Goddess. This new structure brought practical advantages. Warriors once feared in Orario now worked behind the scenes, ensuring constant security for Bell's group. Dangerous zones around Harrowheim were patrolled without interruption, and threats against Ryu were eliminated before they even got close to the surface. The House of Fire, once just a makeshift home, became one of the safest places in the entire labyrinthine city thanks to the presence of these invisible protectors. Despite the natural tension between the old families, the forced coexistence generated unprecedented stability. There was care, vigilance, and a tacit promise that no open conflict would occur. The guild needed this balance, and those involved, even carrying grudges and difficult histories, submitted to the new scenario out of necessity, and also out of respect for the bonds that each one carried. In this delicate political environment, tactical decisions regarding dungeons, security, and the movement of members needed to be made with greater caution. The Hestia Familia, now expanded in power and responsibility, was advancing into a new phase, where the weight of unseen alliances was as important as the individual strength of its adventurers. With all the structural changes in the Hestia Familia, preparation for the new exploration became inevitable. The team, now reinforced and more organized than ever, seriously assessed how far it could go. The recent growth of the members, combined with the unique skills that each one brought, created a solid foundation for an even deeper journey. Bell's analysis made it clear that the group was ready to surpass previous limits. With the support of Harrowheim's magic, everyone could operate at a higher level, ensuring safety even on floors known for requiring advanced levels. This advantage, added to the new tactical structure defined with Ryu's entry, consolidated a formation capable of handling challenges that previously seemed too risky. The initial goal was to cross the level beyond the 27th floor and advance through the vast region of the Labyrinth City of Waters, reaching the limit that preceded the deep floors. There, a territory began where mistakes were fatal, but also where the prestige and progress of the adventurers took real form. The Hestia Familia recognized that it would be a long, complex journey filled with uncertainties, but, for the first time, there was absolute trust in each member. With the strategy defined, Ryu's reinforcement, the constant protection guaranteed by Seer's influence, and the tactical alignment revised by the Guild, the stage was set. The Hestia Familia was leaving behind a phase marked by debt, risks, and weaknesses, now advancing as one of the most promising emerging forces in Orario. The expedition, therefore, did not represent just another foray into the labyrinth. It was the beginning of a new stage, in which everyone finally walked with strength, purpose, and balance.